Thanks for joining me here again in Positive Pyjama Chats. It's wonderful to spend my Wednesday mornings with you. I love preparing for and running these groups and having everybody's interactions. It just really inspires my week. So thank you for being a part of it all. We have been talking about ways that we can utilize our 90% control of our life so that we can stay happy and sane throughout all these things that life throws at us, remembering to focus on the things that are important as well as the things that we do have control of, to feel as though we have that full 90% and really feel like we are in charge of our own lives, our own space, and our own headspace. Through that, we've been looking at different ways that we can focus on our ability to respond, to act differently and deliberately to create the results that we want in our lives. And in the process over the last few weeks, we've looked at ways that we can really focus and be deliberate about where we're spending our time, as I mentioned. Because we can't manage time. All we can do is manage ourselves and our priorities, according to Brian Tracy and Stephen Covey, both authors and self-help, well-known and very successful gentlemen. Last time we were talking about our big rocks as well as our little rocks in life, making sure that we don't get lost in the little rocks as we're getting things done in life. We want to make sure that we are focusing on the big rocks so that we ensure that the important things in our world are achieved, we reach the outcomes we're after, the results that we want in relationships, in our careers, in our businesses, and of course in our health. All those different areas in life are important. We spoke 2 weeks ago about the importance of focusing on what is important, the big rocks in our lives, and not getting caught up so much in the urgent things, focusing on what's really important and being proactive about them, and utilizing Pareto's principle, that 80-20 rule, to help us be proactive, to help us get rid of those headaches, focusing on the couple of things that are really important in our big long list of things that we are wanting to get done, so that we don't get overwhelmed, we don't get headaches, and we do get to the results and the important things that we are trying to achieve in our lives. And if we can, when we can, as we can, reducing those couple of things down to just one. The medal-winning, full impact, what is the one thing that's going to give us the biggest result, the best return on our investment, the best return on our involvement, the best return on our time and energy. What one thing are we going to focus on today, this week, this season, that is going to give us the rewards that we are wanting in our life? We spoke about which were the highest categories in our lives and why. We spoke about health, family, career, and home, as well as other things, if you remember. And these are big rocks. These are the things that touch our heart, that impact us. And I wanted to take one step back from there today and say, how do we come up with these categories? Where do they come from? And these are not the only categories. There are many, many more that you can have. But where do we find what the priorities are in our life? To me, they are our values, and our values give us our priorities. Why is that important? Well, have you ever found yourself to be overly busy, caught up overworking? Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed? Or felt like you were really floundering and, oh my goodness, where do I even start? I'm not good enough to achieve this. Have you felt compelled and drawn to food, drink, media, technology, other excuses that are effectively time wasting, but basically drawing our energy and our time away from really what's really important? This is because we haven't worked out what our top priorities are. We haven't worked out what our true values in our life really is. What is our life about? Is it about relationships? Are these the most important, most fulfilling things in our life? Is it about health? Making sure that we have the vitality and the energy to have the life we want? Is it about our career? We're passionate about helping others. Is it about our family so that we can see where they are going and that they are strong and being a part of other people's lives? What is it for you? There's no right and wrong here. But what is your value? What is your value for you? What is life about for you? Has anybody wondered about this? These are the sorts of questions that really started to get my attention in how I'm living my life and where I'm passionate about how our mind works and how that relates to our body. Because the more we are drawn away from what is important to us, the more stressed we can get, the less energy we have, and the more distracted and frustrated we can get with our life. Would you, on the other hand, like to be more clear about your own vision, about your own personal direction? Would you like to be able to make better, clearer, quicker decisions? Just like that. Would you like to be able to more easily and consistently uphold these decisions? So it's not a matter of thinking about it. It's a matter of it coming from your heart because that's who you are. They are aligned with your vision of life, of what your life is about, your priorities, what is clear for you, what you are wanting to achieve in your life. They are aligned with this. As a result, when you have and you are aware of your values, you can be naturally more fulfilled, content, and at peace, and more able to stand your ground and generally be grounded and be in your own, live your own standard. Don't run to anybody else's bell. Be your own person. Run life in your code of conduct. And really have the trust that you are going in the right direction for you. You might wonder then, well, this all sounds good. Values sound like they really should be important, but where do they come from? How do I figure out what mine really are? I have a few questions for you. Have you got your pen and paper ready? Because this is where we interact together. Step 1, your peaks. I want you on this piece of paper to list 3 experiences that really stand out in your mind. They could be anything. Just a quick jot of 3 experiences. What was happening in those 3 experiences? As you reflect on what was happening, ask yourself, what value are they honouring? What is being expressed here? For example, it could be a sense of purpose, community, passion, love. They are just examples. It may not be that at all. It might be something totally different for you. 3 things that really stand out, meaningful experiences for you. Step 2, the antithesis, your valleys. 3 upsetting experiences that you have had. They might have left you feeling flat, angry, frustrated, resentful, or just upset. As you reflect on what's happening here, ask yourself what feeling is coming up, and then flip it around. What is it that's making you feel angry or frustrated? Is it that something is not happening? Is it that somebody is being treated unfairly and that's really got you riled up? you might find that you have a very strong value of being fair. So you're just flipping that unfairness on its head. Your value here is that you really prioritize, you really feel strongly that world should be fair. This can be challenging, but that's a whole nother story. What are 3 experiences that have left you feeling upset or flat or angry? Sometimes that anger really is a good indication. It's got you really, really having an emotional reaction. That's a good indicator that there is a value here that is being suppressed, pushed down, not being recognized, and that's irritating you. So we just need to flip that on its head. Number 3, fulfillment. 3 experiences that you have had that you feel that are essential in your life. They fuel you, they fulfill you. They really light you up and bring you joy. They fill you up from the inside. It might be creativity, health, vitality and well-being. It could be excitement and adventure. It could be surrounding yourself with beauty, whether that be in nature, whether it be in forms of art. Could be the joy of learning new things or new ideas. What are 3 elements that you feel are essential and really light you up from the inside? Values for you. Awesome. So the next step is, who do you admire? These could be famous people like Mandela or Gandhi, could be a character from a book that you've been reading. List 3 people who inspire and motivate you. People that you know personally, people that you've heard or read about, characters you've met in a book, seen in movies. Then think about, why do they inspire you? What is it about them that you so admire? That will tell you what values they represent for you. Gandhi and Mandela are a couple of my favourites just because they really stood up for themselves. They stood up for what was right. They were so strong in what they believed, they didn't care what the rest of the world thought. But that's just me. Your 3 might be totally different people. And they don't have to be real. They could be Luke Skywalker. Doesn't matter. 3 people that you admire, and have a think about why. Finally, this is an ongoing exercise. This is one to take away. This is basically an opportunity to observe yourself. If there are things that strike you now about how you're living, then feel free to jot them down. Otherwise, use this as a journal over the next week or so. But for a few days, just be conscious and mindful of key decisions and actions around work and home that you are making. How much are the values that you've been jotting down just now in this process reflected in your choices? Mostly, sometimes, rarely, not at all. What patterns can you see here? Are you living your values? Are they your values really? Or do they just sound good? Or is there somewhere where you're stuck and you're not able, for some reason, to follow what your true values are? Because that can really feel hard, can bring on those headaches, can really feel like life is a struggle. Just because you can't focus and live your life values. These are really, really important. So as we move on, we've still got some jotting down here. This is awesome. But as we come out of today's pajama chat and into our discussion, I want you to have a think about how important knowing your values might be for you. In what way might they impact your business or career, your family, your life as a whole? This will be the essence of our chat today. I'm going to stop my share screen so that I can talk to people and everybody can actually join in the conversation.